If you use PeakMonsters, you may have gotten airdropped PKM tokens the last couple weeks, and today I want to tell you some options of what you can do with them, including adding to their liquidity pool and earning free rewards. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Luke and I play to earn on my channel and help other people, especially with small investments, play to earn, and hopefully one day we continue to snowball our account. Today's video, it's going to be a little bit more geared to people that have a little more invested into the Splinterlands and PeakMonsters, because if you don't have a ton of tokens here in PeakMonsters, you're probably not going to be able to use some of the stuff that I'm talking about. But hey, even if you just got a little bit, hopefully this information is helpful to you in figuring out what you want to do with your PKM. If you want to put it in a liquidity pool, hold on to it, or maybe sell it off for some SPS. Now, a couple weeks ago, I did a video announcing their PKM token, and if you have used PeakMonsters at all to buy cards based on your tier here on your account, you can look at your profile. Will give you different tokens per week, and especially their big airdrop was just a week or so ago, and you can check. Maybe you have no idea that this went on and you use PeakMonsters all the time. Well, you can just go to Tribal Dex or Hive Engine, look at your wallet, and if you got any airdrop tokens, the PKM token right here should just be listed there, and maybe you didn't even know about it. Now, if you did get some PKM tokens or you want to go out and simply buy some, what can you actually do with them? And really, there's going to be 3 different actions that you can take with your PKM tokens. The first thing is you can actually just swap them. Say you don't want these PKM tokens, you don't really care. You can just convert them to SPS. There is a liquidity pool. You can use BSwap, Tribal Dex, or anything you want. You can put your, however many tokens, click swap, and then you're just going to have SPS, which you can, put in the game. You can swap it for Hive, whatever you want to do with it. It's yours to sell off. The second thing you can do is actually just hold them, and PeakMonster says eventually they're going to have this be a utility token where you can actually spend it, or you actually need it to use some of the features on PeakMonsters that will be just for those who are holding the token. So we don't know what those are yet. The team is still developing them. They probably won't be right away according to them. But think of it like, maybe if you have this PKM token, they'll give you the best insight on which cards to flip. Or maybe you want an auto deck buy, and Luke, the YouTuber here, has made this perfect deck for silver, but you need PKM to access it so that you can just hit the instant buy button. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up off the top of my head. You can join the PeakMonsters Discord. They often there talk about features that are upcoming and even get community suggestions. So if maybe there's something that you want with this PKM token to do, I would go there and talk with Jarvie, talk with some of the members there. They're very friendly and very helpful. Thirdly, what you can do is you can put your tokens paired with SPS, which means you're going to need 50-50 SPS to your PKM, and you can put them in their liquidity pool. And they're building out this liquidity pool. So as I just showed you earlier, if you wanted to swap your PKM for SPS or SPS for PKM, anyone can go ahead and do that. Now, the reason you would provide liquidity is because you're going to be able to receive rewards. They are receiving rewards for a 120-day period. After that, they're going to refresh the pool. And so you actually get to participate in some of the profits from PeakMonsters that they're rewarding with those who are providing to the liquidity pool. Now, at the time of this article written by PeakMonsters, it was a 281% APR, which is really high. But of course, they did say, hey, do your own research. Things could change. Tokens can go up or down. The more circulating PKM that's coming out is going to change that APR. And people could buy up PKM, changing the price, or selling it as well can change some of the APRs. Of course, now if we scroll way in on BSwap, you can see that number has dropped all the way to 69%. Even a couple days ago, it was over 70% for me, because more and more people are adding liquidity into this pool, which means more of the rewards are getting split up by more people. Now you can see here that I have put in about $150. Half is right now PKM and half is SPS. Again, when you provide to a liquidity pool, it's got to be 50-50. And now over here, you can see the results of my daily rewards. So 6.7 PKM tokens are being dropped to me, 0.006 per day vouchers, 0.036 swap Hive, 0.38 SPS, 23 DEC, and some other little things here as well, which is worth right now in current token prices 28 cents. So you can see the APR right now is about 69 cents, because if you take that 28.4 and you multiply that out by 365 days, that would be $103 of rewards, again, about roughly 69% of the $149. Now, again, these rewards can change as more and more people add to this pool. My share gets smaller and smaller unless I'm also adding more to this liquidity pool each time the number increases. So you can see, actually yesterday I got a little bit more than that because back then I had a higher percentage and PKM was 7 tokens, SPS 0.44, swap hive 0.038. So you can see while the numbers are good, it can continue to drop as people add more in. Now, before you just jump in and blindly put your stuff into this liquidity pool because you see some of the rewards that I'm getting, let me just walk you through why or why not you'd want to do this before I show you how to actually add to this liquidity pool. First thing you need to know, which I'm not going to be able to explain in this video, so I'll leave some description and comment links to other videos who have explained this well. There's a thing called impermanent loss, which honestly is a little bit hard to understand. Some of these videos I had to watch like 3 or 4 times maybe, but finally it kind of clicked. And so it's just the sense of like, if you put 2 tokens in 50-50 and one moves completely in the opposite direction, like one goes up or one goes down, or one stays the same and one really goes down, there's a thing that can be called impermanent loss. Whereas if you just held on to your assets instead of putting them in a liquidity pool, you would have been better off. Which is why often sites that use liquidity pools will offer things like PeakMonsters is here, that you actually get fees and rewards from providing for this liquidity pool. So you have to balance that in your mind. Do I want the rewards, but take the impermanent loss risk, or do I just not want to risk it at all and not provide for this pool? So please go look at those videos. They'll explain it a lot better than I did just there. So why would you want to provide for this liquidity pool? Well, my arguments for it is PeakMonsters is way ahead of any other market in Splinterlands, even the own in market for Splinterlands the game. So if you believe that Splinterlands is going to grow, I would assume that more and more people would be using PeakMonsters, and these rewards could be really helpful, including the PKM token could go up. Potentially another reason is if you think PKM and SPS are going to go relatively in the same direction as far as price over time, because they're both tied to Splinterlands, even though they're different use cases, then you won't experience as much impermanent loss. And then thirdly, of course, is you essentially get liquidity mining rewards. By putting this liquidity pool, you can earn those things like vouchers, SPS, DEC, and even some swap hive. The reason I would argue against putting into this liquidity pool is one, that PKM is just such a new token. The supply is not really out there that much quite yet. And so the price is going to be very volatile, and it's really hard to predict what's going to happen with it. If you didn't get my full rundown of the PKM token and their announcement originally, I'd go watch that video right now if you're wondering what is the token supply and how is it being dispersed. Also, because PKM is a token that's supposed to be used in PeakMonsters as utility tokens for like tournaments, for features within the market, a lot of it right now is speculative because we don't know what those features will actually be and how much demand there will be for this new utility. Will the features that they create be enough for people to want to go out and buy these tokens and to provide value for it? We don't know quite yet. I do like Splinterlands and I do like the team behind PeakMonsters, but again, it's just speculative. So with both arguments in mind, do your own research. Decide on your own what you want to do. Don't listen to me. I'm not giving you advice. I'm just showing you how to use this tool. And if you want to, use the link to go to this BSwap platform. It's part of Hive. It's safe to use. You can add liquidity to the PKM SPS. Now, when you do this, let's say you have some PKM already, you can hit max and it will show you how much SPS you need to match it. Remember, you have to put in 50-50 of value. So whatever this 7 PKM, and I think it was about 20 cents, I'm going to need about 20 cents of SPS to match that. So you can see here currently in my wallet, I'm only at 0.449 SPS in my Hive engine wallet. So I'm going to have to withdraw some from the game so I can match this and put it in the liquidity pool together. So that's where I'm going to go to the Splinterlands game. You can go to your SPS. You can click on transfer. I'm just going to need a little bit here to match that because I'm not doing a big liquidity pool here. So I'll pull out 1.3 SPS tokens, put them into my Hive engine and make sure to click transfer out. So wait a few seconds, then go back to the liquidity pool. You now see I have more SPS in my Hive engine wallet. Once I do max on PKM, you see I have enough SPS to cover that. Now I can add 1.7 SPS and 7 PKM at a 50-50 value and just click add liquidity and confirm it. Eventually there'll be a green button if I move out of the way that says success, and then you can click on your positions And there you should be able to see your PKM SPS, how much percentage of the liquidity pool do you actually own, your values of how much is there, how much it's worth, and what your daily reward should update at some point with what it's estimated to give you in the next reward drop. So there you go. That's how to provide to the liquidity pool if you'd like to. Again, do your own research. How I'm thinking of it is I want to do this because I actually just really like PeakMonsters. I want to support the project. I want to be a part of the liquidity pool more so just to see what happens and really support PeakMonsters and Splinterlands, the game. But again, because of the high volatility, I would just be really careful. I wouldn't do this just for financial purposes, or at least not put in more than you can afford to lose or to risk. So do be careful, do your own research, and then decide if you want to add to the liquidity pool or not. So hopefully this was helpful to give you some thoughts and show you how to use the liquidity pool if you'd like to. Again, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. You can also join our Krill Crew Discord or even the PeakMonsters Discord to ask your questions there. But for now, peace out, pa'alam, adios, my friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Take care.